All right, gonna be a review for War of the Worlds, Steven Spielberg's 2005 film with Tom Cruise, Dakota Fanning, Tim Robbins. It's a movie I saw in the theater, and I've always liked it. It's for me, it's kind of it's not like Steven Spielberg's best, Indiana Jones or anything like that. Saving Private Ryan, but I do like it. It's got some problems though. I think the first third, the first third of it's really good, except for the stuff. Basically, Tom Cruise is good at it. I'm not sure I buy him as like this blue collar worker. And then there's this whole thing with his kids. He has two kids, son and a daughter. The son pretty much hates him. The daughter likes him. And his wife's, with a new guy who's obviously makes more money than him. And this is a sore spot for him. But I don't really care about almost any of that stuff. I don't think the stuff with him and his son is good. Is it Justin Chatwin is his son? Like, he kind of looks like the lead singer of Green Day. Justin Chatwin. Oh, he's in Dragon Ball Evolution. That's him. Oh man. Like, he's an okay actor. I just don't like he keeps bitching at Tom Cruise. And do they explain why? Just that his wife left him, and I mean, he's trying to raise his kids, I don't know. They just like hate each other. The scene with them playing baseball is okay, but Tom Cruise is kind of a dick too. He like hurts his son's hand, and then his son steals his awesome car. He's got a, I think it's a Mustang, a GT350. Awesome car. I don't. I wonder if that's the same car he has in Vanilla Sky. But anyways, then the aliens come and Dakota Fanning's there. She's good in the whole movie. I almost wish it was just Dakota Fanning and Tom Cruise. And really, because the son thing, and then like later it gets even worse, I think. But then the aliens appear, and that's probably the best part of the movie, I think, because I like the effect they do when they shoot people and they just turn to dust. I've never quite seen anything like it since. That's a great idea for a movie. So that's all good. It looks pretty good. There's tons of practical effects, model work. I think it all looks pretty good. I don't really have complaints there. But then, some dumb things happen, like the whole city loses power because they release an EMP. And then Tom Cruise magically is able to find a car with a new battery that has power. Pretty cheesy. No one else has a car with a battery with power. He steals this minivan with his two kids, and then they're off. And then I think the movie kind of hits a lull. They get out of the car. There's a giant battle going on. His son is trying to flag down the military. It's just like stupid. Like, he wants to join the military like at this moment, and it's like, why? You're just gonna get in their way. Like, they're trained to do what they do, and this is not the time. And they're obviously losing the battle too. So you think you'd want to just get away from these aliens, but he Then he keeps trying to get closer to the military. Tom Cruise tackles him. He's like, "What are you doing? We have to go." He doesn't want to. He says, "No, I have to do this. I have to do this." Dakota Fanning's crying, and he's like, "I have to do this." And she's like, stay for me." And then he doesn't. And then he runs off over a hill, and you assume almost all the military that's attacking them dies. Pretty cool scene, though, because you got Humvees, you got tanks, you got the troops going up the hill, you have helicopters and jets flying by. It's all done real well, I think. Spielberg, he knows what he's doing. Which is the parts I like in this movie. I like, it's just old school filmmaking, and it's shot really well, but the script kind of lets him down. And yeah, like the between him and his son, all that drama, I think, is just manufactured. I could just see a screenwriter writing it, and it's just not good. It's just not good. And then spoilers, this movie's 20 years old now, which is crazy, but or it's about to be, I guess, because it's a summer movie, right? And then he goes over the hill, and you don't see him again until the end, where he's alive, which makes no sense. And in the end, he goes back to Tom Cruise and Dakota Fanning, and he's alive. It's like, come on, you'd be so dead. I remember even back then that annoyed me. I was like, what was with all that? And then he's alive? It's like, it's just... I think that's real cheap. I don't know if Spielberg just didn't want him to die, but it's like, but dude, then don't do any of that stuff. Then have him in the rest of the movie with Tom Cruise and Dakota Fanning. But I'm glad he's not, because even when the world is being destroyed, he's bitching at Tom Cruise. It's like, give the guy a break, man. What is it, his fault the aliens invaded? It's just like, I don't, it's like, give the guy a break. Like, what? But, so, it's not really the actor's fault, Justin Chatwin. It's not his fault. It's the writing. He does a fine job. But for me, Dakota Fanning, and it kind of steals the show. She's really good kid actress. And then, but also, Tom Cruise doesn't seem like a great dad either. Like, he tells them to pack up a bunch of food, and they do, but almost all of it is like salad dressing, because he has like no food at his house. It's like, if your kids are gonna come over, how about go to the store and get some food? It's not like he doesn't have a decent job. He works at the docks. He like moves those giant tankers or whatever filled with stuff, and sets them down. I mean, they're paid pretty good. So, I mean, yeah, it's a blue collar job, but they're paid pretty well. So I don't know. It's just, he has like no food in his house, and then they go to the mom's house. Her and her husband aren't there, because I think they're on vacation somewhere, and he starts making it peanut butter sandwiches, and Dakota Fanning's like, "I'm allergic to peanut butter." And it's like, he doesn't even know that. It's just like, it's kind of... So I guess, he's not that good of a father either, but, because, I mean, you would think you would know that about your kid. She could die from peanut butter. But, yeah, and they end up running away, and Tim Robbins lets him into his house. I'm okay with all that stuff with Tim Robbins. He's obviously crazy, but I think if aliens invaded, some people would lose it. So I'm okay with that. He's acting all weird and creepy, and he's got a shotgun, and the aliens attack down there, and I don't know, I think all that looks pretty good. Pretty good suspense. So, overall, I like the movie, but it has some major problems, I would say. But for Spielberg, though, after this, I don't know, I liked Munich. Go back and watch it, but I remember not being, like, blown away by it. Crystal Skull, I only kind of like now because Indiana Jones 5 was so terrible. So I'm like, well, shit, it made that movie look half decent. So I'll say that movie, it's okay. It's like a 6.5 out of 10. But after that, Lincoln's well made. But I don't think I'll ever watch it again. I saw it in the theater. Thought it was okay. Wasn't into Bridge of Spies. Never saw the BFG. Ready Player One. Okay. Again, just kind of, middling. He has a Napoleon movie. Oh, a TV miniseries he's directing. That's interesting. I hope that's good. Untitled Frank Bullitt Project. Is he remaking Bullitt? Pre-production on that. Untitled Steven Spielberg Amblin Universal event film. Yeah, I don't know. That may be for the theme park. So I'm kind of interested in if he's remaking Bullitt. But yeah, War of the Worlds though, I do like the movie. It just has some big problems, I would say. It was made for 132 million. It made 603.9 million, so it made a lot. Roger Ebert gives it 2 out of 4 stars, so he wasn't big on it. Now there's an actual use of a Boeing 747 was brought to be used as a crash plane. That seems awesome. They show the crash plane, him walking next to it. It's all real, it's all built. Now even with Spielberg, I think a lot of it, he would just CGI it. And, at least me, I'm able to tell a lot of times when it's bad CGI. A lot of people don't seem to care, but it always takes me out of the movie. It always annoys me. So that's, I remember watching a thing behind the scenes about that. So great production design, great special effects. The movie does kind of have a weird, washed out look, kind of like in Minority Report. But in this movie, it kind of annoys me a little bit because in Minority Report, it makes kind of sense because it's like this weird sci-fi world in the future, So then he kind of changes the way that he's shooting also. But in this, it's just like, I don't know, it just seems like he just kind of stuck with that because that's what he just did. He did Minority Report, which I really like that movie. And that's what Tom Cruise also. So... And obviously this movie has some 9/11, imagery going on. Like when he stumbles home, when he was discovered, ash all over himself. So Steven Spielberg and him and Tom Cruise had some problems during the shooting and promoting the movie. It pissed Spielberg off, which I totally understand why. So this is from the trivia. Steven Spielberg said after the shooting that he would never make a film with Tom Cruise again. Reasons given for this were Cruise's behavior on set related to his involvement with the controversial Church of Scientology. Cruise was rumored to have tried to convert Spielberg. Wow. And especially his erratic performance on Oprah Winfrey's episode dated 23rd of May 2005, which Spielberg felt was hurting the movie. He's right. You should listen to Steven Spielberg. The rift was further said to be caused by Scientology's well-known opposition to psychiatry, which reportedly comes from its founder L. Ron Hubbard, after several psychiatrists had rejected his spiritual healing theories and suggested that he suffered from paranoid schizophrenia. Spielberg was unhappy with Cruise's repeated rants against the use of Ritalin in children with ADD. I know, it's like, why are you even talking about this stuff? Promote the damn movie. It's a sci-fi epic. Like, which was especially angered when a psychiatrist friend of his was harassed by Scientologists after he had mentioned the doctor's name in Cruise's presence. However, they seem to have made amends in 2023, right, when a clip was released of the both men hugging and Spielberg praising Cruise for saving the movie industry with Top Gun Maverick, yeah. But I totally get Spielberg. He's just like, well, what are you doing? Like, we're making movies here, you know? This is not a religious retreat. The crew started filming only 7 months prior to the film's release. After a pre-production phase that lasted a mere 3 months, almost half of a normal schedule, filming was done for a 72-day spread cut over 4 months in order to finish all the 500 plus CGI effects in the time. Steven Spielberg did all the big action scenes in early stages of shooting. From start to release, the movie was basically finished in 10 months. Due to Steven Spielberg's last-minute post-production work, he had tried to opt out of scheduled appearances with Tom Cruise to promote the film on the Oprah Winfrey Show. This was the episode of Cruise's highly publicized couch-jumping incident. Steven Spielberg owns one of the last copies of Orson Welles' radio script, which he purchased at an auction. Spielberg wanted to make the film years ago, but decided against it when Independence Day, yeah, that's a big influence on this movie, too. You could tell. However, was released. However, he wanted to work with Tom Cruise again after Minority Report, and when an adaptation of Hampton Side's book Ghost Soldiers fell through, they picked War of the Worlds as their next project. Real National Guard troops, mostly from Virginia, drove most convoy scenes. If you do me a favor and smash that like button, that'd be great. It helps the channel a lot. Tim Robbins' character was a combination of 3 different characters from H.G. Wells' novel. The curate who gets trapped in the ruined house with the main character, the artilleryman whose behavior and dialogue is the main basis for the film's character, and he is named Ogilev after a friend of the narrator. The word alien and Martian are never spoken in the movie. In the 1898 novel, the aliens were confirmed to be from Mars. An astronomer had detected the alien ships launching from the red planet surface before they crash landed on Earth. The idea of intelligent life on Mars was in turn based on misconceptions that channels could be seen through telescopes on the planet's surface, theorized to be irrigation channels to transport water from the polar ice caps to arid lands. However, these canals were later discredited as optical illusions in the 1960s. So while it was plausible in 1898 to believe that sentient beings could live on Mars, still theoretically possible in the 50s. When War of the Worlds 1953 was made, the idea was eventually debunked by the time the movie was conceived. So the alien origin point is left undefined. It was also director Steven Spielberg's idea to have alien ships already present on Earth, since he felt the aliens arriving in spaceships had already been done too often. Yeah, it's a little odd though, like, wouldn't we have found those buried ships by now? But it's different, you know, it's true, it's been done so many times, so it's different. I mean, it's kind of a cool visual when they're, like, beaming down, and then they're all kind of close to the asteroid, and Cruise picks up something, and it's cold to the touch, and then, you know, they start coming out. That all looks great. So, in 2005, the plane crash was featured in Universal Studios' Hollywood Public Studio Tour. The wreckage was located only a few feet from the infamous Psycho House and Bates Motel set. But, yeah, that's about it, though. You know, he gave it 2 out of 4. Ebert, I'd maybe do 2.5. There's something about the movie I just like. So I admit it has tons of problems. Maybe I just like Tom Cruise, and I think Dakota Fanning's really good in it too. So that's probably what I'd say. I like Tim Robbins' part too. I mean, I know some people kind of make fun of it, but I thought he did an okay job as like a crazy guy, you know. So, but obviously this is based on H.G. Wells' classic book. So, but that's about it though. Yeah, War of the Worlds. Steven Spielberg. Honestly, one of his last movies that I like a lot. Or maybe not like a lot, but a movie that I do enjoy, even though it is flawed. So, yeah. See you next time.